It is one of the most well-known biblical facts. Chapter 13 of the book of Revelation records the rise of the Antichrist and his beastly kingdom in the very last days of man's rule, just before the return and reign of Jesus Christ.
Why don't you sit down? Now talk me through your very scary scenario. Keep in mind I don't have your PhD.
Tokyo, London, the United States. It's gonna be a wipeout. We'll never see it coming.
You're not just an analyst anymore. You're operational now.
Abort! Abort! We're talking about the safety of the President of the United States.
We're talking about a hell of a lot more than that, sir.
Just open the gates of hell.
The United States of America doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Who said anything about negotiating?
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
Now in Revelation 13 we read about the rise of the Antichrist to power, but before we get into chapter 13, jump back to chapter 12 verse 17 quickly. The Bible reads, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ." So
that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Your memory was erased. Your mind was implanted with a life you think you've lived. Oh, by the way, you haven't even begun to see me trying to kill you. Get
it? Shooting people at a children's community center, and then shooting a Filipino postal worker later on. Matthew Hale, who's the Pontifex Maximus of the World Church of the Creator out of Illinois, and Ben Smith, who went on a shooting spree in 3 different cities where he killed a number of African Americans and Jews and Asians that day. Those groups are groups that claim to be extremely anti-government and Christian identity oriented.
Looked at him that close. Same in color, maybe black, but which was an odd color. And I was sitting there going over my notes, and a van pulled alongside of me that turned out to be the property owner. And he greeted me, and he was by himself, and so we had a good little dialogue there, and I asked him about the field of black boxes. What were they? Because I'd never seen anything like that, and his statement was that if he told me, I would be one of few people in Madison, Georgia that knew about them. And he says they're disposable coffins.
The Amtrak facility in Beech Grove, Indiana. It also has these electronically operated turnstiles. In this portion of the parking lot is a brick building, suitable for processing, next to a gate that leads right out to the railroad tracks. And all of this is contained inside a fully fenced area, now 3 layers deep in fencing at this point. This U.S. Air Force train indicates federal and military involvement. This facility was supposed to have closed in June of 1993. Yet instead, several $1 million in federal funds have been spent on supposed renovations over the past 2 years. This small building is the only way into a particular fenced area. Inside this building, we see more of the motion-activated detectors, electronic turnstiles, and prison bars. Outside this building is fencing and a cattle run section of fence, all topped by barbed wire, pointing inward, not to keep people out, but to keep people in. This was common throughout the facility, particularly the new fencing that had been erected. Inside the fenced area on the other side of the building, you'll see signs that say Red Zone, right up next to the railroad tracks that run the length of the fenced area. Next to the Red Zone sign, you can see closely numbered markers on the fences that are too close to a space to be parking markers, just as if they plan to have people line up to board the train.
But we know better. Inside is standing room only. That way considered many more prisoners than if it was sitting room. There's all these rails on the sides, you can hook the trains together. You can probably fit about, I don't know if you really squeeze, 300 people per level, and the car has 2 levels. So you can fit a lot of Katrina refugees and other places and people that FEMA doesn't quite want.
Don't be satisfied with this grumbling with God and praying around here and a little bit there, hoping He will, maybe He won't, listening to your friends. Get serious between you and God, because you see, the most exciting thing about the Christian life is the fact that you and I can have an intimate, personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, in which He intervenes and works in our life every day.